You sit there contemplating why you can't do your fitness routine consistently. Why can't you work out consistently? Why can't you eat healthy consistently? You can piece it together for months, maybe a couple months, but it always falls apart. And I think everyone knows that consistency is what truly holds you back from the results that you want to see. Right? So I'm not going to come here and preach at you about how to be consistent with working out because for me, working out is really easy. Right? I love working out, something I enjoy doing. It's easy for me to work out, just like it's easy for you to sit on the couch and watch Netflix because that's something I want to do every single day. But something I hate to do, something I just don't like to do, was running. I hated running. This goes back to when I was a kid, through my teen years. But last year, I ran a half marathon in 1 hour and 53 minutes, which by most people's standards, by like regular average runners, sub 2 hours is pretty good. I did that on my first try. For me to do that, I had to get consistent with running, something I absolutely hated, right? When I was a kid and I played tag, I played baseball at the park, I was always the slowest. I would get tagged and I'd fall over and I'd pretend I couldn't breathe, and everyone would be like, oh, he has asthma, but like, I just didn't want to admit that I was slow. And I would just do those things so people felt bad. I didn't actually know that, like, it just was me not trying. In high school, I got forced to run cross country. So I think twice a week we had to run or practice running with a bunch of other people, and I had to do this just so I can get a ride home. Otherwise, I'd have to take a bus, and that was like 3 hours long, and it would take me just as long as if I just went to run. So went, I ran, hated every moment of it. Eventually did the cross country competition at the end of the year, and I finished bottom six. I actually finished the sixth last out of everyone that was there. I was so bad at running that even though I was a little bit chunky, but there were kids that were like 200 plus pounds in grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, big, like chunky kids, and they would beat me in running races. Like, these are kids who are like probably really obese, not okay, and they would still beat me at running. So I hated running. It was one of the things that I promised myself I would never do again. Said, fuck that. Regardless, I ran the half, did it pretty well. And for the, 6, 7, almost 8 months leading up to that, I ran consistently. I got a routine. So, enough of the preamble. Essentially, I want to give you the 6-step blueprint to how to get consistent with a fitness routine and how to do it long term, not just for a certain thing, right? Because as you know, you have to be consistent to get something. So let me show you through my running journey how to be consistent with your fitness or with your nutrition or with whatever it may be. Here are the exact principles that you can use in your life to get consistent with anything. So, number one, having a big goal. Half marathon was my big goal. Why did I choose it? Honestly, I'm not sure. I knew I definitely did not want to run fucking full marathon because that's like 3-4 hours of running. I said, fuck that. And a 10K, it was just too easy. But a half marathon, 21 kilometers, felt like the perfect challenge where I could be like, I could fucking do that. And even though that's me saying that as someone who has never ran more than 5 kilometers in their life up until that point, sounded tough, sounded hard, sounded pretty cool. If I could do that, that's something I want to say I can conquer. Creating a goal makes the vision a lot clearer. So when you start putting your plan down, when you start making your schedule, You need to have a big, strong why as to why you're doing it, or having an overarching goal as to why you're doing it. For me, I wasn't just running just to run. I ran because I had this big half marathon that I need to run in May. So when I sat down in November, this large extrinsic goal makes it so much more tangible for you to stick to your routine because there's actually something that exists that you have to work towards. Right? So, first thing would be to have a big goal. So, if that's you working out, look to put on X amount of muscle, look to lose X amount of weight. Give a specific number and work towards it, or have a specific body type, have a specific dream body, and make it concrete. If you want to look like fucking Ryan Gosling, if you want to look like Surya from a movie, like, man, take that picture and put it up somewhere. Like, you need to have a goal that you need to work towards. If it's looking like your 22-year-old self, have that picture up so you can work towards something. If it's a strength goal, put up, I want a 300-pound squat. I want a 500-pound deadlift, whatever it may be. Take that, have a big goal. It should scare you. Like, when you look at it, you should be like, oh, like when you set that goal, you should be like, oh fuck, like, what did I just do? Right? So having a big goal, making it specific, is going to make the entire process a lot easier to stick to. Right? So whether you've never ran more than 5K and you sit down and you say, I want to run a half marathon, or whether it's you've never lifted a weight in your life and you want to say, I want to look like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, or it's you've been struggling to eat consistently for the past however long and you say, I want to lose the 20-30 pounds that have been on my body for the longest time and that make me feel like shit. Have a big goal that you can work towards. That's an overarching reason for why you're doing this in the first place. Number 2, put something on the line. Talk is really, really cheap. I think everyone knows that, especially when people get drunk, even me. Like, we say things because it makes us feel good just saying them. Anyone can say anything. Actually putting something down is going to make that mean a lot more. For me, it was actually signing up for the half, putting money in, and registering for this event that I needed to be at to run 21 kilometers. It wasn't just me saying, oh, I'm going to run it on this date. I actually put something down. I put my money down. Put my money where my mouth was, and I went to go do this thing. So for you, that could be a competition. If you want to get stronger at a certain lift, you want to get stronger at your bench press, sign up for a bench press competition. If you want to get stronger at your main compound lift, sign up for a powerlifting competition. If you want to get so fucking shredded you're on a bodybuilding show, step on a bodybuilding show. Right? Sign up for one. But you're probably saying, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to be a powerlifter. I just want to look really, really good. Best way to put where your money where your mouth is give your money to a friend or a close friend. Sorry, give your money to a friend, family member, someone that's close to you, and tell them if you don't get to this goal by this time, that money is either going to them or it's going to charity. And you need to actually put a substantial amount of money down. I'd say minimum $100. It should make you kind of go, like, I wish I didn't burn money. That's exactly what you want it to be. You don't want to burn money for no reason. Right? So put your money where your mouth is and actually do something about it. So that could be a competition. That could be giving it to a friend. I think the best one that you could do is just investing in a coach. Because now you have that person where you're paying them. So you're putting money down. But two, that person also gives you guidance on what the fuck you need to do. So much easier. But if you don't think you need coaching, help yourself. But just put some fucking money down. Stop saying you're going to do things. Because at the end of the day, anyone can say anything. Put your money where your mouth is. And actually put something online so you can go out of your way to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Number 3, starting easy. Running was hard. I hated it. And if I want to run 21K, obviously need to run a good amount to make sure I can run it in a decent amount of time. So a lot of the half marathon plans I looked at were running 4 times a week, running 5 times a week. And as someone who hadn't ran more than twice a week since that like one time in high school, I was gonna get fucked if I ran 4 times a week. 5 times a week is out of the question. There's no way I was gonna do that. So what did I do? I looked at the plan. I actually downloaded this like Nike half marathon plan. It said 4 runs. I said, fuck that. Let me run twice. And the program starts really, really easy. Starts with, I think, like 15-minute runs. I made them 2 10-minute runs. My first 2 weeks, ran outside 10 minutes, and I came home. That was like just over a kilometer. Take in, I had to run 21 kilometers on race day like 7 months later. But my first 2 weeks, I ran 1 kilometer each time. I don't even know if I got to a kilometer, but I started really, really small. And I made sure I could hit those targets, right? So starting small allows you to build momentum, build some wins, so you can increase that difficulty next week or the week after, and actually stick to what you're doing. Because if you start big, oh, you're going to crush it on the first week. You're so motivated. You might even crush it on the second week. Third week, possibly. Fourth week, bro, that shit goes down the drain. Something happens, oh, I can't do 4 times a week. But twice a week, I know I can stick to that, right? So fuck your ego that tells you, oh, you need to do X amount. Start like really, really small and work your way up to that, right? You're not going to fight a level 50 monster if you're level 1. If you're just starting out, you're going to get absolutely bodied. Sure, you might get a couple hits. But that thing takes one swipe at you, you're done. If you're a level 1 character, you go fight level 1 monsters until you get stronger. And level 2, you go fight level 2. You get stronger and you fight level 3 and you work your way up to level 50. You understand that concept when you're playing video games. You understand that concept when you're in school. You do grade 1 before you do grade 10. You don't just go into grade 10 and get fucked, right? So start easy with what you want to do. Rack up small wins. Start easier than you think so you can build the confidence, build the skills that you need to do the next thing, right? So over time, I built up to 3 times a week. And I got up to 4 times a week of running in the last couple weeks before my marathon, before my half marathon. And I was able to do that because I had built up all those reps from weeks and weeks and weeks to be able to do that consistently. Number 4, accept that you won't be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Winston Churchill. I think that's a beautiful quote because you will fuck up. There will be days where you miss workouts. There will be days where you miss meals. There will be days where you eat the fucking kitchen sink. There will be days where you don't do fuck all. That happens. Happens to me. Happens to your favorite influencer. Happens to the most hard person you think, other than maybe David Goggins. And that guy's a fucking exception. He pushes himself to a certain level, but then he takes his breaks when his body breaks down on him. Anyways, back on track. You need to be able to get back in the game and keep on going. You're not here to perfectly get to a certain spot. You're here to get to that spot regardless of what happens. You know when you go to like a party or you're hanging out with your friends and then there's that one friend that talks about all the shit that all the bad shit that always happens to them. It's always like a sob story every single time. And then slowly you stop talking to that person because every time you talk to them, they just want you to feel sorry for them and give them comfort. But at some point they have to accept responsibility and actually do things. Every time you let yourself slide and you beat yourself up for not doing the thing that you should have been doing, that's you having that conversation with yourself. And think about it. If you have that conversation with that friend and it takes you X amount of conversations to be like, this guy's a loser or that person's a loser, if you have that conversation with yourself multiple times, you're just having that same loser conversation with yourself. That's what goes on in your brain. That's a complete biggest loser mentality, is not being able to get over adversity, not being able to get over your fuck ups, because you will fuck up regardless of what it is. That's part of the game. It's about being able to recognize that and getting back in as fast as you can. And the people who do that are the people who tend to be successful. When I missed a run, next day, I look at my schedule. Okay, I can't fit it in today. I can fit it in this time this week. You miss a workout, look at your schedule. Okay, I can make some time here. May not be a full workout. I'm going to get it in here. But people that just throw weeks away, throw months away, let everything slide. Oh, I missed this workout. This won't hurt. That won't hurt. It builds up. That's you consistently giving up on yourself. And that's what you're building the consistency for. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So, perfection is the enemy of progress. You want progress, not perfection. And if you think, oh, I'm a perfectionist, I need to do that, you just want to be a loser. That's what you're justifying. Number 5, create reminders in your environment. Make the process visible. Make the big goal visible. When you go into any sports team locker room, they're going to have a bulletin board. And that bulletin board is either going to have pictures of the championship. It's either going to have material from opposing players, material from news reporters, all the stuff that they talk bad. Whenever someone talks shit about them or puts them down, or things that they're trying to work towards, or they'll have pictures of their family or their kids, that goes on the bulletin board or in their locker, because they want to constantly be reminded of the thing that they are working towards. We literally live in an age of distraction. We live in an age of distraction, whether that's work, whether that's social media, whether that's people around us. We're constantly searching for the new thing, and we're getting bombarded with information. In order to, I find, really be successful or really find success within anything, is to be able to stay focused through all those distractions. And the easiest way to do that is by making reminders or creating reminders in your environment where you are about the things that you want to pursue. Right? So for me, I actually vividly remember this. When I signed up for the half marathon, I downloaded the Nike running half marathon plan, printed it out, and there was like a first page was like a neon green Nike page, and I put that up right over my desk, and I wrote the date of the half marathon, and I said, this is what I'm doing, 21K, wrote the date I started, and I said, this is happening. And that was there on my desk every single day. I would see it, whether I did work, whether I was leaving my room, it was always there. It got literally pinned. You need to be able to create reminders, whether that's your lock screen, whether that's putting a picture on your wall in your room, whether that's putting a picture in your bathroom mirror because that's where you go every day to brush your teeth. You need to be able to constantly remind yourself, and the more you're reminded, the more you can stay focused, and the more you can stay focused, you can make decisions that will help you stay consistent. Because we stay consistent when we start prioritizing other things. So it's very easy to prioritize the things that you see and not prioritize the things that you don't see. Because out of sight, out of mind. So even though it may not be consciously looking at it, it's still there. There's a reason to have all my goals, every single thing on my wall, literally right there, pinned to my desk. I can show you guys. Pinned to my desk. And I stare at that every day. Fuck, I messed the camera up. That sounds so simple, but I believe it's an essential process in making things happen consistently. And number 6, finding accountability around you. Telling your close friends and family what you're going to do, telling them what you signed up for, telling them your goals, hiring a coach, right? This person, you can tell them what you're going to do. They're going to make a plan for you, give you the sauce, and then they're going to expect you to actually make the recipe or like go out and do the things that they tell you to do. And they're going to work with you and make sure you get there. Joining a group of people, I think, is great, whether that's online or in person, of people that like, maybe you join like a nutrition healthy cooking group, or you join like a new gym and they have like group classes. Maybe you join like, maybe you find a Discord of guys that like are also trying to lift, right? Shout out to Trying to Get Jack Discord. But finding community, finding accountability in other people will go a long way, because humans are social creatures. And it's up to you to leverage the fact that we are social creatures toward your goals, right? Because we can also be distracted. We can also use other people to hold us accountable. When I decided to train for my half, after about 5 weeks in, I told maybe a couple people, told my girl, told my family a little bit, that I was training for this half marathon. And then every day on Twitter, it's still there, and on my Instagram story, I would take a picture, a progress picture. I would write down day 1 of 60 or whatever it was until the half. I'd write whatever run I did, I'd screenshot my run, and I put my progress picture as to what I was actually doing. Every single day, it got posted. Twitter, Instagram, shared. Probably hundreds of people saw it, because I think I maybe had like 200 or 300 followers at the time. But people saw it, and that was my way of staying accountable. Because now, if I fucked up, all these people would also know. And when you go by Coach Kegs, when you're supposed to be a representative, when you're supposed to be a leader in the space, you have something to live up to. So you may not be representative of health. You may not be a coach. You may not be whatever. But people respect people who actually do the things that they say they do. And if you don't, you tend to lose that respect. Whether that be a little bit, whether that be a lot, people really care. But using the people around you to create accountability will go a long way in making sure you get to your goals, especially when shit goes south. When I had to write, I fucked up, I didn't run today, or I shit myself in terms of diet, or I didn't work out, I would have to take a picture, literally put my body online, and people would see it. You are going to follow through on the hard things when you're held accountable by the people around you, because you yourself can only hold yourself accountable for so long. And especially when it's something you don't like doing, or when it's something you don't enjoy completing, you're going to make it really easy for yourself to write yourself off. So finding accountability around you, whether that's online, in person, people you know, people you don't, whatever it is, find some accountability so you can really take yourself to your goals. So those are the 6 steps I would use to get consistent with your fitness, health, nutrition, whatever it is. Those are the 6 basic principles. And it's up to you to apply that, right? Because you can just consume this and go back to what you're doing and not use it. But this is valuable information that you can literally sit down. I would write down each of these steps, write your big goal, put it on the wall, find an accountability system, sign up for something, put some money down, put something on the line, and actually go out to achieve your goals. And once you reach that goal, set another one. Who the fuck is stopping you? Right? You can't just set a goal, get to it, and be like, okay, I'm done. Cool. What's the next thing? That's how you do this long term. That's how you make fitness fun. That's how you make health and nutrition fun. That's how you make anything fun. It's by setting a goal, reaching it, boom, let's set another goal, let's get to it. Hope that helped. Use it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.